No, we're not.
Yes, we are, but we're in the wrong places.
We are on Internet Explorer.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do not have Kirsty with us today.
And according to
But this is Baba Yaga's done. No. This is Roll for Story.
Wow, we are on Internet Explorer. That's years behind.
What?
What?
Let's start again.
I'm just doing some swifty editing along the way.
Good step, you were the dungeon master.
There we go.
Weirdly nice.
Okay, we're all
Let's
good.
pull off some limbs.
Alright, you know what? Kill the stream. Start it again.
Okay, right, we'll be right back. Okay. Alright, going live in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you're good.
God damn it.
Alrighty, this is Roll for Story. Welcome back. We don't have Kirsty with us today, but that's fine. Pushing on. So, last week we had a little hiatus, had a little Christmassy one-shot off stream. Not much happening in the main story, but we'll have someone have a little recap. So we have Steph playing as Irina as a little recap for us.
Oh, okay.
So.
I like how you know that's how I always start. Sure.
Start with fish people.
Is that what happened? Am I recapping that or the other part? What am I recapping here?
The fish people, I think.
Fish.
Right, okay, so we I can't remember that far back. So we went to check out this shipwreck that we had been told about by the Pegasus. And when we got there, we weren't sure quite what they are. Carius was kind of assessing what they were. They were sort of like Tritons or something, but they were doing some sort of weird magic-y thing, which I should know being a warlock, but you know. Naturally, some of the crew members decided they wanted to jump down into the fray, get themselves nearly killed, yada yada yada. There was some spell casting, some ghosts, all sorts of things you don't see in the normal world. Of course, certain people got in the way of magic when they were told not to, but still managed to get in the way somehow. Didn't seem like there were any survivors, but then all of a sudden there was this huge thing that came out of nowhere, and we decided to leg it.
Well, most of us.
Most of us had to leg it.
Well, technically you fell off the boat, and then I came back to help you.
I was gonna
Well,
jump
actually, technically, that was the crystal's fault for suddenly bursting into overdrive, and some of us failed dexterity throws and went overboard.
Yeah,
so-
but that was because Kashan sent it into overdrive.
Hey, I'm still getting used to this thing, okay?
And as a side note, the main reason me and Lavella went back is we were worried that if the ghost possessed the turtle, then we would have a flying giant turtle after us, which was terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a fortress on its back, full of the fish people.
Yeah, which I thought were Merrow, but they might be other fish people.
They might be. So, one thing of note is that the warlocks and priestesses of this fishy clan seem to be able to torture and draw out the souls of these dead sailors, and then using that soul, seemingly possessing themselves, like self-possession, were empowered and also able to fly, which is quite disturbing to see the undead spirits be twisted and corrupted in such ways.
Flying shark.
And the flank, we had a Sharknado, and that was a lot of fun. And then, yeah, Kashan activated the thrusters without everyone having their seatbelt on, which, as we know, was a bad idea. So Lavellan backflipping off lightning bolt and fireballing as he fell to the earth. He managed to slay the last spirit and managed to get back aboard the ship safely. A day later, you've been traveling for quite some time now. And as you're all kind of milling around or doing whatever downtime activities you would like, Andy has spotted something from atop the crow's nest with the spyglass. In the distance, a large reflective surface could be seen shining in the midday sun. And as she kind of winced to try and see what this new shiny was, she realized it kind of resembled a gigantic crystal or some sort of like treasure, perhaps, glinting a sparkling white. And if there's anything people want to do, they can do. But it's going to be swiftly interrupted because Andy's shouting from the crow's nest. Probably telling everyone that we need to steer the ship directly towards that.
Carriers, probably through the eyes of Taklo, will have a look out towards that shiny to see if it works as a landmark, because if it's a naturally occurring gigantic crystal that's near the clawed coast, he may be aware of it, to know what it is and where they need to go.
Yeah, you can roll a something check. I know maps check. Survival, probably. It's the closest thing.
That's not bad.
Not bad
Okay.
at all.
Giant crystals sort of jutting out of the sea. Well, you've already seen the floating archipelago, and you're about ready to believe anything. However, that does also sort of ring a bell in your mind, though I don't think Carius himself has ever visited.
No, probably not, because he normally went the land route through the clawed coast.
But you have heard legends of an incredibly huge, well, it's not a huge landmass, but a sizable landmass completely covered in crystals. Though its exact location hasn't been revealed. How many people have traveled out to it, or rather have found it? But the legend of the crab's gem definitely still sticks in your mind.
Well, okay. And from what I know, from whilst the exact location is not known, I'd have a rough idea of where it might be, where it's like rumored to be, I guess.
Yeah, it's rumored to be off the east coast of the clawed coast.
Between
And
the two like claws of like the coast itself, isn't it?
yeah, there's many kind of little fairy tale stories about it where the sea tried to steal the crab's treasure, and he embarked reaching out across the land, trying to encompass as much of the ocean as he could and pincer the gem back into its grip. And some say he's still reaching out, searching for it this day. Other stories go that the crab stole it from a powerful deity, and that he keeps it hidden somewhere within his claw that encompasses almost like an entire ocean.
Right.
Greedy
So-
crab.
Yeah, so I'll call out to the group. Well, if that's what I suspect it is, then we're east of the clawed coast. And based on roughly where I would guess it would be, based on the rumors, we actually need to probably go almost directly east, and that should take us to nearish where I used to live. But how far away would you say it is, Andy?
probably say it doesn't matter how far away we are. We need to get to it now. And if you can see something on the horizon, I think that's about. Yeah, I think it's about 8 miles is the distance on a crow's nest.
Well, if it's that close, it probably won't take us too long. We can at least check it out. I mean,
Is that with a spyglass as well, though?
Spyglass doesn't allow you to see further. It just allows you to see things that are further in more detail.
Uh,
yeah, 'cause
Height.
technically,
Height is what makes you see further.
yeah. So, we're all a bit battered, but not many people have seen it, so it'll at least be a tale to tell, and it shouldn't take us too far out our way. We can get there, and then we can swing to the east, and then we should be pretty much right on track. And once we hit the landmass, it's probably just a matter of going south until we hit my home. Though we might hit one of the cities before then.
yeah.
Probably.
You
not
say like a bit battered, and Irina is literally probably starfished on the floor, like face down.
I think we
Yeah.
should probably go and get some rest.
Yeah, we should probably have like a what time of day is it? Are we looking at?
I said midday.
So a short rest.
Yeah. So we,
Yeah,
we
short rest. Sure.
probably whilst we're traveling there, if we approach slowly, keep an eye on things, and just rest a bit while we get there, and then that should at least get us up to some spec.
It wasn't too far off. You can actually see about 12 miles from a crow's nest.
It's about 12 months.
Yeah, but
I
that's
am
12.
going to make it my personal mission in life to eat the head of every gingerbread man I see.
I mean,
Which is
that's-
about, by the way, which is about double that what you can see from just the deck of the ship.
I was going to say, that's 12 miles based on the ocean, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we're
we're in the sky.
Oh
Yeah, but-
god.
So times that probably by the amount of
I
feet
mean,
we are in height.
Yeah, that
is what 30 feet up.
almost forgot about that. You're on a flying ship. Okay. In that case, yeah, that's probably a lot further than what you thought. So you got some
We have-
time.
If we haven't elevated, we're still 300 feet up, and then the crow's nest is probably 30 above that.
So yeah, so that would make us like what, like
We're not going to go into the math of it. It's a long
Yeah.
way off. But
Yeah,
we're probably not going to get there today then, or at least not till the evening,
unless you
I-
thrusters.
unless we use the thrusters. But
We already are using them, aren't we?
no, we're not at the moment because we wouldn't be able to use them constantly because we only have limited.
Okay.
Roll a d6 and see if we get it back.
No, I think for now let's have our hour.
rolling a
rest.
d6.
Well, you can roll it to see if we get it back. I guess. For now, let's have our hour's rest, captain's orders, and then we'll head over there.
Okay.
Nope, we don't get it back.
Well, like you said, Gareth, it would take probably a day to get there.
We haven't
Okay.
gone too far off course, so we've probably got the time to do it. Though.
Yeah.
Carrie is less into it, but considering Andy wanted to go there and he did something really selfish by going and fighting those fish people, he's going to at least go with.
Hardly selfish.
It was
Apart from the fish part.
It was selfish to put everyone in harm's way for something that he wanted to do to be the hero, sort of thing. So
I wouldn't mind taking a short rest either,
yeah, so I'm thinking we all short rest.
just so I can
Alright.
regain my key.
Go ahead, take a short rest.
No problem.
You could do with a short bath as well, because he stinks.
Shut up.
A smelly cat.
Ooh.
No, that just didn't roll. I was trying to work how to do that. But whatever.
Ooh.
No.
Oh wow.
Stop.
Oh wow.
What's wrong with you?
God.
Cool, I got my key back.
When... Okay. And again.
I need to roll so many hit dice.
Would Andy
Yeah.
be providing us with the Song of Rest by chance?
Probably.
Yeah, I'll say so.
What does Song of Rest do?
Extra D8.
I think it's a D10 for it at this point.
Might be. I can't remember when it goes up to that with the
If it's a
multi-class.
D8,
Not-
then I'd
Yeah,
take
not with the
that.
levels in Rogue.
Okay. Irina, stop!
It's a D10 at level 9, I believe.
No, because you only just got to a level. You only just got to a D8 yourself, and you're level 9.
Oh, was it?
Stop what?
Okay.
You said stop.
Oh no, it was because I
It goes to a
was
D10
scrolling
or
up
13.
in the
Oh.
chat, but every time you rolled, it dropped me back down. And I was
Sorry.
stop. I was kidding. I keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, I need to. I'm nearly out of hit dice and I'm only halfway with my health.
I
Says
think
D8.
I might have a potion. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not
You know
because
what?
it's
Just to
one-
stop you using all of your hit dice, I can use a spell to give you a bit extra.
I've still got some hit dice.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And I'm at 74, and whatever Andy's Song of Rest would have done would get me up to full.
That's not bad. I can live with 62.
So
How did you spend like? Oh no, you just did it. Yep, that's fine. Whatever.
yeah.
We get one from Andy. Wow.
Nice. That actually really helps me because. Oh no, it doesn't. No, I'm one off an even number.
I'm 3 off max.
Yeah, same. Literally.
All right. Thank you for your rousing song. It's I can
She's
give
probably
it
so
one-
invested in looking at this shiny thing that she's not even paying attention. She's just like squeaking away on like the violin or just unenthusiastically rattling the tambourine. It's
Carrie
not
just
really
sort
soothing in any way. She's
Carrie
like,
just sort of looks up and is just like, I thank you for your rousing song of rest, I guess. I can already feel it working. Yeah.
good,
Oh,
now
yes.
let's go. Sorry, that was Irina's accent. Good, so now let's go.
So,
I love it.
if we're gonna booster, then everyone tie yourselves down and we'll see how it goes, I guess. But we'll need to make sure that we can get the boosters.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something that I probably should have done the first time, and I'm gonna go down one floor, and I'm gonna go at the front of the ship and anchor myself there, so I just have a forward view, but I don't get any problems of being flung off or anything.
I'm gonna sit at my captain's throne.
Okay. Wait, you've made a throne?
Well,
crit.
it was like a chair.
Oh wait, no, we didn't get the things back, did we?
Arcane Tradition.
It's a porta potty.
5th
Yes.
level.
You can sit in it. Did you get arcane traditions? What do you mean?
Because short rest, I'm using my Arcane Tradition
Okay.
to I think, is it called Tradition? No, Arcane Recovery, sorry.
Yeah, so it's a D6 like every round, isn't it? To see if we recover. So
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
keep rolling until you get a 6. Nope.
Couple of seconds go by.
3?
3.
2 seconds go by.
Oh, you went backwards.
And Andy's
no.
like, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Oh no!
Make it go. She hits you at the back of the head.
Hey!
And that seems to work.
Hey!
There we go.
It's
There
a
we
5
go.
or a 6.
Oh, it's a 5 or a 6. Okay.
As soon as he slams you in the back of the head, you lurch forward, and that emotion suddenly launches you, surging forward over the skyline towards your destination. And as you're getting closer, it starts to get darker, and it's almost as if the island is fading away because it was only visible thanks to its reflective glint in the midday sun. And Andy's like, "No, it's disappearing."
What?
It's just not able to be seen due to the lack of reflection. We'll find it. Don't worry.
What if we can't see it when it's
I
next
can,
day?
I can literally see in the dark.
So can I.
Up
So
to
can I?
Oh, it's 120 feet. I think it's for Irina.
nice.
I
Mhm.
sent. No,
But I can also see through magical darkness, so like I can see through solid objects. I think I'm good.
If worst comes to worst, I'll send Tatclaw or myself to scout round. It's fine. We'll find it.
Okay.
My pizza's on its way.
Does anybody have sunlight spell?
As a sailor, based on like the calculation, could I calculate the distance to it based on how fast we're traveling to sort of gauge where we need to stop?
Yeah, you can roll another survival check.
Can we work it out on the map and pinpoint it? Wow. Wow.
Well, that saves the effort of getting lost in the dark whilst you're going. Sure, yeah. So you're just expertly navigating the winds, making sure that at this point nothing brushes you off course. And normally it is a lot harder to navigate at night, but there is one thing that comes out at night that does make it easy to navigate, and you have the clearest view of them all, the
Yep.
stars.
Yep.
And as you are navigating, you see that the stars are it's a lot brighter constellations than there usually is for some reason. Like they just seem to be more prominent. Either it's how the firmament has turned and ended up like this, or maybe there is something supernatural about this area of the Claude Coast. But you can see that the stars are super bright and they are guiding you, almost deliberately so. Almost feels like there's just a big old arrow in the sky pointing you in the right direction. That's what it feels like.
It actually, for Karis, it kind of makes sense for him to be better at navigating at night. He worships a god of the sea, and that's probably more related to the moon, so he's probably better at night. So it's just like, right, so based on that constellation there, and that there, and the distance, yeah, we're still on course. Excellent. I don't know the name, well, in this realm of any of the constellations out of character, but Karis does in character. There's is it Pelennor was the sun god? The one
Pelor. That'd be Helios.
there's Helios's lantern. Just making constellations as I go. It makes sense for a sun
Yep.
god.
And for Llewellyn, as he's pointing these out, there's another one that he points out and that you notice. Oren's belt.
Hey.
And it is it is the archer, the huntsman.
Oh, and that's where the arrow comes from. The one that's pointing us in the right direction.
Yep. Yeah,
It's-
quite possibly.
It's Orin, that guy that we had a sentimental moment about that I didn't actually know because
Yeah.
it's
Almost all the characters who ever met him have been dispersed over the land.
I met his spirit.
Did
There's Pellennor's gavel and like the 7 daughters.
Can I
my
tell if he's making some of these up?
It starts. I'd say roll an insight check.
I'm gonna roll deception just to see how well I'm lying on this.
Oh,
Okay.
Because, like, obviously, I've probably studied this too. So
So the first couple you actually do recognize, like Helios's lantern and such. They are real ones, but then not too sure of the other ones. Either you haven't heard of them, or somehow Carius is more informed than you. You're not sure.
Yeah.
now you're just making those up.
Usually you have your head in the book, right? Not up in the sky.
I mean, well, some of these might just be what my dad called them. After all, he was the one who taught me most of this. I mean, I'm pretty sure there isn't one that's actually called Bahamut's left butt cheek, but you know, it happens. It could be true.
I mean, there's a constellation that's shaped like Bahamut, so technically you're not wrong, but
True.
I wouldn't
true.
say you should never insult mighty dragons like that. It's just not something you do.
Yes.
And wouldn't it technically be called Bahaba?
I like this. We should use this from now on.
Bahamut.
Bahabat.
It's the Bahamut Bahamut.
I've met some of Bahamut dragons before. That's a really
Wait, have you?
cool.
Oh yeah.
Has this Lavellum, or was it the other Lavellum?
It was this level.
Yeah,
I've
once.
met 4 of them, I believe.
Yeah, and if you look closely at each of like the specific points in the Bahamut constellation, each of those is like a smaller constellation. Like you got like Bahamut's claw, Bahamut's fang, Bahamut's wing, and they actually also represent like one of his gold dragon servants sort of thing.
Hey, Kashan. Oh, Kashan's gone. Cam's gone.
There's a shiny light reflecting off of like the end of the telescope. It's just like meow, meow. Chasing off.
Using Taklo's eyes, I'm going to look at Andy's cloak and just see if it matches the constellations above at all.
Yeah, it does, in fact, and almost like the cloak is sort of representing what's actually in the night sky, but only on one section of it. Either because the cloak is representing the entire night sky, and that it would be way bigger than what you're just seeing in this one little instance, or because that only represents the material plane, and the rest of the cloak represents the entire astral sea. It's hard to know, but you do see there is orange kind of a constellation glowing brightly on the cloak.
You know, if we ever can't see the constellation for some reason, your cloak could be a good backup. It's like a naturally evolving star map. It's kind of cool.
Hey, Kashan,
Yes.
I left you something in your room.
Oh no.
That sounds really swifty.
What is it? You haven't put a dead thing from your book in there, have you?
Of course I did. And I take Kashan away, leaving them to all talk about stars and whatnot.
Yep. Alright, so Karis is just judging by the stars when to like basically order the full stop because we'll be like above it.
Okay.
And when he goes to his room, I'm like, not that room.
What?
And I take him to his room in the mansion.
Oh
God.
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
Because
But-
he
But would Kashan be willing to go into the mansion considering what happened last time?
Yeah.
All right, so a little snug opens the door for you. Welcome to your new kiddie play area.
Kitty player.
Oh, bear.
We put yarn boards and stuff in there. Scratch posts.
Scratch
I've got-
posts.
Yep.
A description for this.
There is a litter tray.
No.
There's some
Right.
greenies.
No.
See, the thing is, like, whilst at some point I want to think like Llewellyn would be
Okay,
like
sorry.
nice enough to like make it like he's put so much effort into this. It's also Llewellyn with Kashan, so I can imagine there being some trolly stuff.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Emma came in. Yeah, so Snug opens the door, has scratching posts and whatnot.
There's not. It's not. So you go through the fire.
Because that's racist.
So you go through the fire as usual with the silver trees with the blue leaves and the frost tipped. Take you to your room, and inside, in one corner, you have like a little meditation area with like a lantern holder. You don't have a light in your room. You have like a lantern holder where you can put your frozen flame on, and that lights up your room. And in another corner, you have a chest that's lined with like the comfiest material
Yeah.
that you can just shut on yourself. And it's an extra large chest because there's a little egg spot. And you have a combat dummy in your room that is made of scratch and post material. And you have hangers to put your staffs on the walls. But other than that, all across the ceilings and everything is literally, you know, when you see a cat room and you see them bounding from like all these different things attached to the ceiling.
Oh my god, there's a little poles coming out of the walls, so I can just like go and little
like-
platforms and things.
You can do zoomies.
Pretty much.
He's just gonna turn around and give Llewellyn like the biggest hug. He's just like, I love it, and then he's
Oh
going
my god, has
to.
that ever happened before?
He's then going
No.
to sprint up and just like go on to one of the shelves and just like,
We're all gonna die.
this is amazing.
Can't do Llewellyn. The end of the world.
But inside your chest bed is the clockwork amulet.
What's this?
It's to make sure you guarantee that stunning strike attack that you need.
Doesn't guarantee.
Well,
It guarantees it.
it guarantees
Wow.
guarantees you get the
False
hit.
Thank
advertisement.
God I have. It's like the difference between a guarantee and a warranty.
It's got like a plus 14 to attack. So if he gets the 10, it's like plus 14 on top. Not many monsters have 20 whatever AC.
Oh, and it's everyone from the archipelago. Oh, thank
Yes.
you.
I definitely gave it to you first.
I'm sure I was the first one you thought of when you saw the one place that I have been working my whole life, funnily enough, to work up to. This is the extra step. Thank you, Llewellyn. And then I'm going to go do zoomy laps. And then scratch at the post. And then more zoomies.
Also, there is like a larger meditation room around the corner.
Good times.
It gave you your perk in case you wanted to solo meditate.
I'm very happy that you thought of me when you made this. I'm still fascinated the fact that you managed to make this. But thank you.
I had help from some friends, although I did create the friends.
Is it the weird spider things that are in the...
It's the Snugs. They're long friends. They've helped me through a lot of battles. Say there, it's just one, but I made 100. But
Okay.
yeah,
I just have one question. Why is that one giving me the evils and is like giving me the throat slit? He
he
looks very shifty.
doesn't like cats.
Huh.
I'm pest control, Snug.
I thought it was shifty, Snook.
No, this is a different one apparently.
Yeah, I make sure that all the little rooms remain in tip-top condition. There's no rats running around.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring any rats.
Rats.
Unless you want him to trap your room, I wouldn't bring any rats.
Don't stop thinking you're taking my job.
That's racist. I'm not one for catching rats. That's more for like house pets.
Oh yeah, and for privacy, and I hand him his little spectral key that just has like 2 cat ears on the end.
Nice. Nice.
2 cat ears.
It's
Brilliant.
literally just like
And then
the key.
the actual key part that goes in is like cat teeth
Cat teeth.
for the tumbler part.
Love it.
Yeah.
Alright. So, after
Two
coming back out of your little... Well, are you staying there the rest of the day? Probably.
Yeah.
So you-
I
Well-
won't be. I'll come back out.
The ship has come to a full stop, regardless. It's like probably quite early in the morning, like 2 or 3 a.m. I guess. By the time like the ship has to come to a stop, but you could probably try and get your long rest in anyway. It'd take a
Yeah.
while.
It might be worth, you know what? It might be worth having a longer rest now, just because we've got the time, and then we can just hop down in the morning.
All right.
Took us a bit longer to get, but it took us both short run longer than I thought it would. So,
Yeah.
feel free to
Stop.
get a rest.
Stop. No. Stop. There we go. Sorry.
So, we're all attempting to have a long rest, I guess. Tackle
Okay. Cool.
and watch.
Whilst you're kind of up this late, everyone can make me a. Wait, hold on. Kishan, you said you was. Oh no, you're inside the ship.
Mm.
As in, sorry, you're inside the Magnificent Mansion, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is anyone on the ship, in the deck or below the deck?
Alan probably would be at this point because he's coming out of the mansion.
Okay. But don't you usually sleep topside?
Yeah, I currently sleep topside because I'm not aware of the mansion. Irina would probably be heading down to the mansion because it's fireproof.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So Irina, you can make a perception check.
And I'd be coming back up to see what everyone's. if
Not
they-
you.
what-
Okay. Irina. Yeah, you definitely hear some. Even though the ship is at a standstill, you can definitely hear some creaking coming from below deck.
Okay.
What do you do?
What type of footfall or?
Yeah, like someone is stepping on floorboards, but it's not a heavy footfall. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like someone just like stepping onto a floorboard and it squeaked. But you didn't hear the footfall. You didn't hear the footfall itself. It just sounded like someone actually stepped on a squeaky, creaking floorboard
What? Where is it coming from?
below deck.
Okay.
below the level you're on, in fact.
Like directly below?
Just below. In fact, let me just drag you down. See, you're here,
Mm-hmm.
and you just heard it from below you. Somewhere down there. Probably distant. You managed to get 21, so you can actually hear it through 2 floors somehow.
Okay. Hear it through 2 floors? Okay.
It was very faint.
Alright, I'm going to...
It's of note because the ship is completely still.
Mhm.
Usually doesn't creak when it's still.
Okay, I'm going to go and investigate.
Okay.
I'm going to... Because obviously I imagine I saw everyone on deck. And I know that Lavellen and Kashan have gone to the mansion.
Right.
Are the Pegasus, did they leave?
They did, but there was supposed to be a moment where Andy would say goodbye.
Okay, that's fine. In which case, if I know everyone's on deck, my brain immediately thinks of the little constructy thing that Shifty Borzo made. So I'm summoning Candlewick, and I'm gonna go stealth my way downstairs.
Okay.
Because we
Roll a
also had
stealth.
these, also had these creepy things that died on the boat. They flew
Yep.
through the windows.
Which people haven't cleaned up yet. There's still some dead cockatrice in the armory.
But I imagine they'd make more noise. So
And they're mostly dust. I
stealthy,
kind of
stealthy.
them to death.
Not so stealthy. 11.
Cool. All right. You begin. You can feel free to move your token. I mean, this is the way down, so I'll just say you're there. There you go. Come on.
Yeah, stop clicking things. Okay.
You go past several huge cannons, and there's the sacks of goods. What's it called? All the food stores that you've been saving up. There's some barrels. This is where the gunpowder is stored, Irina.
Yes, I'm going very, very carefully.
Okay. That's the
Um,
stairs up.
yeah, no, I'm checking the
Oh,
cockatrice.
dead cockatrice. Yep, it's still there with its neck
Definitely
snapped.
dead. Definitely dead.
Its neck is like 180. You go
Okay.
past the little spare bedrooms, the candle's still flickering. Probably should save that. And then there's a load of chests. And then there's the set of stairs leading down to a dark interior below deck. And as you come down here, there is just one lantern very faintly swinging in the hull of the ship. This is where the rest of the gunpowder is stored. And you currently have Candlewick out, don't you?
Pizza's arrived.
Mhm.
I'll be right back.
But in sword form, he's not doing
Okay,
anything.
sure. There's several doors down here, but all seem to be shut.
First thing I want to do is extinguish the light. I can
Ooh.
see in the dark, so it's fine. Just to be safe. No fire.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, you extinguish it. Goes out
That
quite
shouldn't
easily.
even be lit down here.
Yeah, it is interesting that the light was on. I mean, the other light was on the higher deck, but
Yeah, but that's different because that's where people, like, there are rooms up there. Whereas this is
Oh.
like a room filled with gunpowder. That's just dumb.
whereas as your feet go across the floors and even down the stairs, you can hear every kind of floorboard creaking as you go as well. You're making just as much noise as what you heard earlier.
Right, I was at sort of this end of the ship when
Mhm.
I heard the creaking noise, and you said it sounded distant, right?
That's right.
So I can assume it's at the other end?
You can assume that you was a floor above it. Like 2 floors above it, effectively. I'm not giving you any more information than that.
Mm-hmm.
Creak around, creak, 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 as you go.
Okay.
There's a huge stack of crates in front of you, and you remember these were the ones that were hoisted from the Borzo tribe and loaded up.
Hmm.
But seems all quiet down here. Nothing's moving around anymore. If indeed there was something moving to begin with.
Okay. I'm not gonna risk getting into all this gunpowder. So I'm gonna head back up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna find if Karis is awake, then I'll give Karis a nudge.
Garrus is just about to head to bed because it is
Yeah,
late.
well then I'm going to stop him before he does.
Alright. Okay. It's like
Uh,
2:30 a.m. in the morning, Carrius.
Come back.
You're feeling very groggy and you just got the ship to rest.
What's up?
So I was below decks and heard a noise. Obviously knowing that all of us are up here. Or in Lavellin's weird mansion thing.
Right.
It's kind of odd. The cockatrice bodies need cleaning up for a start, but we can deal with that tomorrow. But I have some concerns about the shifty Borzo that we met before we left. He was building some sort of weird thing. So either he's hidden away himself on board, or he's stashed this thing and it is alive. Is my suspicion, but I could be wrong.
Alright. Well, I'm about to go to rest, so you know what? I'm just gonna actually let me just check if this requires sight. That does require sight. Garrus is just gonna go. Right, now the ship said stop. I'll fly down and have a peek in through the cabin holes and see if I see anything. Like through the portholes and stuff, because
Okay.
nobody's going to see that coming.
Sure. Alright, so you fly down and you start peeking from the outside.
Yep.
Get you down there.
I will obviously mention that it came from sort of like the room that has like the gunpowder in it. So I was like, I'm not really sure I should be down there,
No.
Yeah.
but that's where I think it was coming from.
Alright. You begin sort of flying around, Carrius, trying to determine what's down there. And you can roll me a perception check, but with disadvantage, because you're seeing through very tiny little holes, and there isn't many
Oh,
huge windows. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do much worse than that. But
Oh yeah, that's bad. All right. You check around, and you can definitely confirm there's nothing in the smaller of the rooms where you've got
Actually,
some.
quick question,
Hmm.
Chris, because I am a sorcerer. Are we allowing the optional class features from Tasha's for sorcerer? The other one, which is, let me just get it up because I haven't obviously got it on my sheet, but it'd be worth knowing for this.
Probably
what-
not yet. If it's something from Tash's, then probably not yet.
Yeah, it's basically it's called magical guidance, when you can tap into basically your sorcery points to spend a d20 to re-roll an ability check, but you must use the new roll.
God. Yeah. No, we're not using that yet.
Yep, that's fair. I thought I'd ask.
Okay. All right. It is
Not-
very dark down here. The light has been put out, and although tieflings have dark vision, they still are disadvantaged in complete darkness. Like
Right,
you have just normal vision in dim.
yeah, Carius considers this for a while, and then it's like, as I can see in through this window, I'm gonna fast step into the ship.
Okay. You appear inside.
Yep. And then I'm gonna.
By the way, I don't have vision on carrier, so everything's just black for me.
Oh, Sam.
Click Garrus's token then.
I would if I knew where it was.
Right where my cursor is.
No, can't click it.
Yeah, so now with that in mind.
Oh yeah, 1 second. What about now? Okay.
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Right. So then Karis is going to try to stealthily move around down here and see what.
Okay. You can roll a stealth check.
Don't fail me now, stealth.
Okay. Not bad.
And I'm just going to try to sneak about, probably floating along on my glaive because it's what I do.
Okay. So yeah, you're floating above the floorboards. This enables you to not kind of give away your location on the creaky floorboards like Irina might have. And you're standing before these set of double doors. There doesn't seem to be anything out of place here. As you look around, there's apparently suits of armor, which I'm sure you don't have, but there's stands for armor if you ever want to actually put them there.
Yeah, in which case, probably what Carius would do rather than opening the door is he'll fast step out again and then fast step in through one of the other windows to go round the door. Bonus
Wow.
action for me now.
Literally making zero sound whatsoever.
Yep.
Okay.
So
And
I
then
just
you're
bam,
fast stepping.
back in. Just like probably to like this sort of spot where like I'd be like hidden-ish.
Okay, hidden-ish, sure.
Because there's crates and stuff there, so then I could just sort of peek round and see what I can see.
Did you see what you saw?
I don't know.
Was he looking at the map?
I was, but I don't know. Was there something and I've just missed it by like I blinked?
Yeah, you probably did. So roll me a quick perception check. Again,
So,
disadvantage because it is dark down here. If the candle was lit, it'd be normal.
Right, how do you roll with disadvantage? Is it control click?
Control, yeah. There you go. Cool.
oh, no.
Man, missed it. I don't know if anyone else saw it. Like Cameron, you didn't see it, did you?
I saw it.
Did you? Okay, cool.
I did.
Yeah.
So, Karis, you just blink as you're kind of entering in, and you have to turn around because your fast step doesn't necessarily realign you with which way you're
Yeah.
facing. As you appear, you turn around, looking about the room, ready to spot some potential intruders, and nothing around here. It's completely and utterly, like, empty, absent,
Right.
unoccupied.
Do I want to play this? Continue playing the stealth game, or play more into Karis's sort of style? What?
Tim a day.
Yeah. So just because I feel like
You might be starting to think that there isn't anything down here with that
yeah,
perception check,
but
and
Karis
given the
is,
one earlier as well.
Yeah, so Karis is just going to try this just as a last thing. He's going to simply float into the middle of the room, like over like this sort of port thing,
Yeah.
and then he's just going to point in the other direction whilst sort of shouting out, "If there's someone on my ship, show yourself or I will destroy you." And then I'm just going to gust through the thing. Just cast gust to like blow to like adds to the intimidation factor. Because I don't
Oh.
have like thaumaturgy or anything like that.
Okay. Okay. You rolled me an intimidation check against the crates.
Oh.
Against the crate. The crates seem unmoved.
But does anything else in the room seem moved? Does anything reveal itself?
21 is not bad.
It's not bad at all. No. But as you kind of shrug and realizing, nah, there must be nothing down here. You're about to go back up the stairs, maybe glide up, or perhaps even fast step out for easier, quicker use. And just as you're about to leave, you hear a
Okay, I definitely heard that. So Karis is now just going to go in the direction of that sound.
Okay. You come back out into here and you see that there's a huge pile of crates. And you can roll me an investigation check because there is a lot of crates down
I'm
here.
better at those than I am at now. It's still not bad. I am better.
Okay.
Than I am perception.
Yeah. Something you notice as you've been traveling for quite some days, in the sky, you get a lot of moisture in the air because you're literally riding a cloud.
Yeah.
So occasionally there's a build-up of damp everywhere.
Yep.
But you're looking around the crates, looking around the food stores, everything seems to be fairly dry compared to like the rest of the ship. Like the deck of the ship has usually got this kind of thin film of moisture, like condensation, where literally the water rises to this point and then condenses on your ship like it would a cloud.
Yeah, which is where Carrier sleeps weirdly.
Yeah, it's
but
strange.
that sort of fits him. To be honest, is one with like the weather.
But down here, it's actually very dry. That's something you notice with your 13.
I'm going to just sort of look over the crates and then start like poking random ones with the butt end of my glaive just to see if any react.
Okay. Just do a ping. Which one you want to poke?
Honestly, I want to ping this one first, to be honest, because it's a different color.
Oh my god! How dare you? How dare you poke the different one, the different colored one?
It stands out.
What are you poking it with? Just the end of
back
your
end of my glaive.
Okay, so you poke it and it is incredibly heavy. You do hear a dull thud as you hit it, and then you swear you hear a sound as if some sort of small amount of air escaped something.
I'm going to open that crate.
Uh-oh. Okay. Roll initiative.
Okay. Not what I was expecting, but...
And this is why I didn't open the crates.
And there... Yep. Oh, that's terrible initiative.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
You may not be expecting it, but
Yeah.
just...
So, something in here, probably a stowaway.
Probably, let's hope. Hold on.
I mean,
It's a snurg. It somehow escaped the mansion.
two
Okay.
of us aren't in the mansion, and one of us is all the way up in the crow's nest.
Okay.
Yep.
So you
It's me.
begin to open up the crate and you hear a sound, and
Yeah, but
suddenly
to be
the
fair,
crate...
I'm probably listening to like obviously I've sent Carius to go and check it out, so I'm probably listening for any noise. So if there's a sudden ruckus, then I'll be down there.
Yeah, you probably heard him bellow out earlier, if there's anyone on my ship, reveal yourself, and then heard like a bunch of stuff.
But that she probably rolled her eyes and just thought you were being dramatic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you hear this kind of whirring noise, and then another, and suddenly there is a glowing coming from the crate as you open it up, and it's quite bright as it blinds you. Need you to roll a Constitution save.
Luckily, I'm pretty good at those. Actually, I'm pretty good at those. I'm very good at those.
Yeah, you are. Okay, you're able to shield your eyes and turn away just in time as this thing lets out this glowing bright blue light shining straight into your eyes. And straight after that, you see this robotic creature, quite squat, almost like just perfect size for the actual crate to fit in, suddenly spring out and land on the deck of the ship. Oh, sorry, the hull. And it's about the same size as a gnome. You could guess. And as it lands, it kind of looks around with this kind of swiveling head, like, and it starts to whir and jump, clambering over these crates and going up the stairs. You would hear this, Irina, as it's stomping its way.
Yeah.
In which case, I'd start heading down.
Okay.
Karis, you'd also hear Karis yell out, "We got a robotic stowaway on board."
I knew it.
1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, that's gonna end its go. Karis.
Alright.
And then Irene, you can roll onto initiative now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Karis will follow up the stairs after it, gliding along as he does, because hopefully this now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got more movement than that.
You would fly straight into the creature if you're going up that high.
Yep. I just sort of fly up and then find it, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna try speaking to it. Excuse me, what are you doing on my ship?
It just kind of turns around with this kind of strange whirring noise again. There's like low rumble coming from it, and occasionally you see a pout of. I'm not sure what it is. It doesn't even look like it's a gas. You can definitely hear an air kind of escaping from it, like every now and again. Seems invisible though. Whatever gas that is.
You know what?
It looks up, turns around, looks up at you.
Does it appear hostile?
It doesn't have any real weapons in its hands. Its face is kind of seemingly unintimidating and unassuming. It's
I just sort of glare at it and like
in fact, where was the artwork for this?
State your purpose.
It doesn't seem to state anything. Also, yeah, this is the artwork for it. I think you've seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carius considers his options. This thing seemingly doesn't seem to have been a threat so far. It hasn't. It's obviously been on the ship the entire time that we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
And hasn't like tried to kill us in our sleep. It would have had the opportunity. It hasn't tried to crash the ship or break the ship. And as we head up through the ship, is this floor also less damp than the deck? I mean, I assume naturally it would be, but I assume damp actually gets through the ship.
Yeah, like a little bit. Yeah.
I sort of decide to ask it more of a yes or no question. Are you the one who is keeping the ship dry? Beep once for yes, twice for no. That was 3. That doesn't make sense. That wasn't one of the options.
It's a maybe.
Exactly, yeah. You can take that as maybe.
It's a dehumidify. Yes.
At that point, Irina, it's your go. And you just hear this strange sound.
Okay. I'm putting Candlewick away just to be safe because.
Yep.
Gunpowder. And I'm actually gonna pull out. I've got a sickle. I'm gonna pull that out instead. And I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna start making my way down to the bottom deck. I don't know if I can get there this turn. If I use my action and movement to get down there, I can probably get down there. But
Okay.
so my turn will probably be just getting down there.
Alright then. Okay. Move it down. Down. And down. You probably get to about here. And you can see this little squat robot looking up at Carius. And Carius is kind of questioning it. And at this point, be its go. And it turns, suddenly seeing you, Irina, and jumps up onto this crate. And again is going to release this kind of flashbang, of which I need you guys to roll Constitution saves.
Irina probably looks very, very nervous about being in this room. Constitution.
Oh man, Carius is doing fine.
Okay, 18.
Oh man, both of you are fine. As soon as it lets off this little flash, your eyes aren't really that dazed at all. Kind of already used to it, and it rushes straight past you, Irina and Carius. You can roll if you wanted attacks of opportunity, but he's running past you.
After it's tried to let off this bright flash of light, I am quite tempted to, so I'm just like, you know what, you keep trying to blind us, I don't like it, let's have you shut down for a while. Would this be considered a creature wearing armor made out of metal?
It is metal.
It's
far
a,
as you know.
it's a construct.
Would I have advantage with shocking grasp or not?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
I rolled a disadvantage for some reason, but 26 to...
Yep, that's a hit. 12 lightning to a small little robot, man. Oh no. Okay. It zaps him as he's trying to run. And he immediately changes direction as soon as that hits him. He was going down this way. As soon as he gets hit, it's kind of like and jerks in one direction and heads through this door. You hearing him scamper through, and then he slams the door behind him. Instead, I'm gonna have him. Yeah. Can you have him hide? Yeah. There we go. All right. It's your turn, Karis.
Alright, Karis is going to walk up to the door, well, float over to the door and push it open. I cannot remember the door, not within my reach, I'm next to it. And then float through.
Okay.
And then sort of look about in here and just be like, alright, so it's hide and seek you want to play, because that's how you can't get out of here, so I guess that's perception to see if I spot it, or would it be investigation?
Yeah, either one.
Oh, either one. I know which one I'm going for then.
Oh no.
Again, reaching a bit.
Yeah, that wasn't hard. You just turn around, and to your left, you see this big lump under the covers. Yeah, he wasn't hiding particularly well.
I just sort of look at it and I'm like, damn it, it seems so innocent, but it's trying to blind us twice. Irina. Oh wait, Irina's had to disappear briefly, so that makes sense. Karis is just like, do I have a spell suitable for this? What would I do? You know what? I know roughly where it is. I'm going to lightning lure it and try to pull it out of the bed.
Oh no. Poor little robot. Oh yeah, yeah. It has no chance of escaping from your lure.
I just sort of yank it out of bed and yank it up to me. I'm like, enough games. Explain. I know you can only do it in beeps. Are you going to hurt us? Beep 1 for yes, twice for no. Are you here to help us? Same rules for beeping.
Maybe.
You see that its form has been kind of like zapped on the ground. It's still a little bit stunned from this.
Yeah, I
But,
just sort of think for a moment and just be like,
It's still got the covers kind of wrapped over its head.
are you a friend? Yes or no? Right. This is gonna sound weird, but can I roll an insight to see if it's telling the truth?
Yeah, you can roll an insight.
I'm probably not gonna sing. It's not bad.
So it's hard to make out by just simple whirring, more like buzzing noises than beeps, but you do make out from the fact that he didn't hesitate with that too much. He might be telling the truth. There does seem to be a moment of processing, and that can be a good judge of whether he's. It seems like he takes longer to process a complicated question, whereas that one, which is very simple, he immediately answered back.
Right. You know, I am actually sort of trying to look over to Irina, realize that probably not back yet, and just be like, just almost looking for help, and then I'm just like, right. Is your purpose to maintain the ship?
You see two little eye shutters kind of blink twice, and then he lets out the whirring noises again.
Maybe. Will you obey our commands?
He begins to leave.
Yeah, you get back here.
Irina blocks the door and stops him, like trying to like stop him from going through her legs.
Yeah, right. Were you made by one of the Borzo? Yes or no? Okay. I sort of looked to Irene, and this is something that could be answered. Is this going to be where our missing crystal went?
Two little eyes kind of blink again. Twice.
Hello, Irina. I found the robot. It apparently is our friend. It's not going to obey our orders, though, and it doesn't. And it might be here to help maintain the ship. It was made by a Borzo. That's about as far as I've got.
Okay, well, it communicates with us, right? So it has some sort of a language. Maybe get Kashan to talk to it.
That's a very good point. Right, Karis goes, right, you go find Kashan, close the door behind you, and I'll keep... Actually, I'm trying to think who will be able to get there faster.
Probably.
Do you know where Kashan is?
No one's seen Kashan for a while. After, like, Llewellyn stole him. But you have an idea of where it could be,
Right,
Irene.
it's probably gone into Llewellyn's weird magical hut thing. That's fine. Right, you stay here. I'll close the door behind me. I'll go find Kashan, and then I'm just gonna zoom off on my glaive.
Yes, leave the fire starter, down the gunpowder, and an angry robot.
So what? Carius doesn't even have access to the mansion yet.
I've been in it once, technically.
When you set it up, you did allow people.
You did say
Actually-
friends.
Actually, Irina, considering I've not really been inside his weird magical place yet,
All
probably
right.
better you go, and I'll stay here and keep guard. If
Okay,
you want to borrow
I'll-
the glaive for faster movement, feel free.
It's fine. I'll run, and I will run.
Sure. You know where you're going. You go fetch Kashan.
Yeah, and I'll close the door behind her.
Okay.
And just sort of stand in front of it, looking at this robot skeptically. With skepticism.
You can roll another insight check.
I would have no
Okay.
idea.
It seems to be going around the room, if you let it, that is, with the door shut. And it seems to be inspecting things, looking over the bed sheets, looking over the chest, then looks over at the lantern. And it seems to be like almost blinking every time it inspects something.
Are you looking for something?
Doesn't reply for a moment or two until it's done like inspecting stuff, and then it turns to you after like having clearly looked in each of the cupboards, the chests, even under the beds, and then it just looks at you and says, "Grr, grr," and then a small little pout of smoke comes out. Again, not visible smoke, just.
Are you inspecting things for damage?
Doesn't seem to reply to that. But Kushan, you're poked awake, probably.
No,
By
if
Irene?
you enter my domain, the lights are completely shielded apart from this dull glow from the corner of the room where like a small little drape has been put over the lamp to block out the light, so it's nice and dark. And as you look around the room trying to find your tabaxi friend, you look up into the corner, and upon one of the shelves you just see two beady eyes looking down upon you. Make a dexterity
fair, I was
saving throw.
I was debating whether she'd like Cusco into the room, like kick down the door, and be like Kashan. But because obviously she's quite jumpy and she's a bit of a fire starter if she's sleeping, if you wake her up so suddenly, it's dangerous. So she's probably learned not to do that to people. So yeah, are you literally going to make me roll a dexterity?
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna pounce.
Okay, hold on. Dexterity.
I'll make a
Saving
dex
throw.
check. Why not?
That's a 9.
You are bounced.
Oh dear.
I just kind of like go all Tigger. Just pounce. It's like, brah! Did I scare you? How can I help?
All right. Clearly, Llewellyn's put catnip in here somewhere.
I know I'm still
Everywhere.
yet to find it.
Right. Okay. Get off for starters.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'll help her.
We have a problem. We've found a wee robot downstairs.
A robot.
A
What
robot.
is a robot?
It's a little metal man that is there. But we can't talk to it. We think the Borzo made it, so maybe you can talk to it.
Okay. Yes, I'm sure I can give it a go.
But fair warning, it did try to blind both me and Carius, so be careful.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Lead on.
Yeah, I'll lead the way. And before we get into the room, I'm gonna literally get Candlewick to sort of make like a shroud around my eyes, so I've got like sunglasses before I go in,
Sure.
just in case.
Yep. Karis is just glaring at this thing like, didn't answer my last question. Don't like it. I'm the captain aboard this ship.
Well, it says you're asking this. Are you here to inspect damage? Is when you start to see it beginning to damage something. You see these little claws extend out from its hands, and it goes over to one of the chests. And as it's done quite a thorough investigation of everything inside this room, seems content on this one chest, and he's twisting the lock off of it, and you can hear its metal kind of wrenching and bending.
It's a dirty little thief.
Hey, stop doing that. There's only one, possibly two thieves allowed aboard this ship. And you're not one of them.
Two.
And as you're approaching Kachan and Irene, you hear a soaring noise.
That's worrying.
You
Now
open
I
up the
kick,
door.
kick the door open.
Oh god.
Yeah.
You see Carius berating this small robot as it's deconstructing this chest, soaring the wood.
It's trying to steal one of your jobs. It's trying to steal.
Okay. Right. Do I recognize it at all?
Yeah, you and Irene are both kind of visually pair it with what you saw certain parts of within the Orzo's little workshop area. This is you believe to be Drip Drop's construction, and it is fully powered with that crystal now. You can see it jutting from one of the sockets in it, and it is currently deconstructing the chest, and it has removed the top half of all of its boards, and it now has these large metal bands where the chest would be fitting the frame, and it's got both of those, and it seems to be bending the metal quite easily.
Where's the wood going? Is it just putting it aside, or is it?
Yeah, he's putting it aside. Yeah.
It's refusing to talk to me now. Well, it was only beeping at me, but that was. Hopefully, your mystical language skills can do something.
Well, I'll certainly give it a go.
If not, you can punch it until it does what it's told.
Irina, isn't this Drip Drop's invention?
Yes. And he was a shifty bugger, so looking at this, I say we throw him overboard.
Perhaps not. This was something that he actually wanted to talk to us about. Well,
if he wanted to talk to us about it, then he should have.
Well, he wanted me to talk to Andy about getting the stone that she had.
Yes, and because she said no, he must have broken the main one, which is what nearly caused us to crash before. She points to the robot where you can see the crystal. It's like, the proof is in the pudding!
Well, I mean, first of all, it's not a pudding, it's a robot. But the second
it's an expression!
No, to be honest, if we're going to call the robot anything, I kind of vote the name Pudding now.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Very well.
That seems like
I-
a small little round thing
I
with a
can
light on the top, like a pudding.
I can give it a go to try and talk to it. I mean, I'd be interested to see if Drip Drop was actually on board the ship. So perhaps either Llewellyn, are you able to track somebody down?
Llewellyn's not here.
I was looking for everyone.
Shut
I'm
up,
looking
Llewellyn.
across-
You talk too
I
much.
actually decide to just ask the robot with this: is your creator on board the ship?
Doesn't seem to reply whilst it's busy doing whatever it is it's doing with this chest.
I'd like to sort of sit like near, not like within range of it, but like a distance away of it and study it and see if there's any like markings or inscriptions or anything like that on his framework, so I can figure out maybe what its instructions are, or because usually obviously I'm thinking this in terms of magics, like obviously if you're casting some form of magic you have to give it instructions to be able to perform it, so I'm just kind of like, okay.
Exactly, yeah, you do. There is a set of instructions it's clearly undertaking right now, and it seems to be going down a certain list of things. Earlier, Carius mentioned that it was looking around the room, and now it seems to have settled on something. You can roll me an Arcana check. Okay, what you're seeing is it is deconstructing this chest, and it has discarded the wood. Doesn't seem like it's interested in that. But all the metal parts, the lock, the rivets, and the metal bands of the chest have been completely like deconstructed into different parts. Doesn't even look like recognizable bits of metal anymore. And after a while, it seems to have fitted these cubes of metal into a inner compartment in its chest, and it seems to be storing them. That's all you can make out with a 14 is
But
its purpose seems to be to deconstruct things at first, metal things.
does it have any markings or anything like that on it?
No, you look over it. If this was maybe not rushed as much, you would see it. But you can see that bits of metal on it don't look like they're fully complete. There are sort of sections where there could be perhaps better like covering over its parts, but some bits look like kind of wiry, some bits look like round and rotund. It seems like he was in a rush job and didn't seem to write full inscriptions down on it that would keep it in perfect order. But it seems to have found its job regardless.
I don't like it.
It
Perhaps I
you.
I puff back and make Candlewick just go.
I will try to talk to it in.
I mean, considering it's got that crystal in its chest, maybe you can connect with it somehow. You're connected to the
That's
others, and
actually a
they're
good
from
way.
the same source.
Yeah, I'll try and tap into the same energy of the ship,
Okay.
and I'll
As you
try
do, it
and-
begins to turn around and walk towards you. It goes right up next to you, Kishan.
I just kind of like look down at it and look up at the others. Like,
Maybe put your hand on the crystal and see if you can like communicate with it. I don't know. Or when that begins in it rude, I don't know the etiquette for a small robotic nose.
yeah, I'll try and place a hand onto the crystal.
It immediately tries to kick you in the shin.
Okay.
And then starts to run as you try to touch the
Sentinel.
crystal. Okay, try.
I just kind of like go to stop it,
Oh,
That
yeah, you do.
that don't do the damage, but I just kind of like grab it by the top of its head. It's like, no, 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 no. You can stay.
It's
So,
like, trying to get away.
I'll
Carriage
try
will
and.
just walk past
Does it-
and close them.
Does it feel like I actually got a link between it?
It didn't, no.
Okay. Just a bit of a scrub.
But it seems like it did walk up to you as you were talking to it. It seemed like it perfectly understood you.
Okay. So, where exactly is Drip Drop? I'll say to it.
It shrugs.
You're going to tell me where Drip Drop is, or I'm going to drip drop you off the edge of the ship.
It sort of shakes its head like looking a little bit panicked. Suddenly it's way more animated and expressive than it was when Carius was talking to it, rather than just simple yeses or no. It's now fully understanding Kishan. It's like seems to be panicking.
Is
Ask it
he
what
on
to do
board?
with metal.
Shrugs again.
Right, and he sent you with us, I assume.
Shrugs again.
Do you even have a purpose yet?
It nods, and it goes over to. It tries to get over towards the bed.
Okay.
You let it.
You're not going to dismantle it, are you?
It
I'll,
shakes its head.
I'll put it down.
Okay. It lays in the bed, and like makes out that it's sleeping like this,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes. Makes out as if it's pantomiming like waking up, and it yawns. Looks around and starts to go over towards this lantern and reaches towards it, like almost gesturing for you to bring it down.
I'll walk over and hand it to him.
You suddenly see its hands, which are quite simple little like claws, suddenly split into multiple little utensils, almost like scalpels, drills, screwdrivers, and wrenches. And suddenly it starts going scrambling at the lantern, and you see the light is quickly put out, and all the little wires and all the metal parts of the lantern are completely deconstructed within seconds as well.
Okay.
I said where you're going to disassemble it. No,
It
that's
points
bad.
to the bed. It points to the bed and just.
To be fair, you did only ask about the bed.
Okay, well, no disassembling, because we don't know if you're going to end up disassembling the ship. How about we give...
It
to
takes
do
its
with
head.
the metal.
It shakes its head. Karis, as you ask about the metal, it doesn't really respond to you. Well, yeah, Karis, if
I was telling
ask-
Kashan to ask.
Yeah, I'll repeat the question.
it places inside the places like the bits of metal that's deconstructed into its chest, and you hear a and then suddenly you see pting, 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 small little pellets popping out, and they seem to be comprised of the same material that lantern was made of, probably like a brass. You
Oh,
see
look,
small little
nails.
brass pellets, like, ting, 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 and his hands are like shaped into a bowl, sorry. And you've got like 12 different brass pellets that he's just like made.
What's the point of this?
I sort of then just like maybe ask it if it can make stuff out of the pellets.
Do you only create the pellets? Is there something more to this? Do you
I-
shoot it out of your back end, or what?
Can I, like, as these guys are like talking to it and things like that, I kind of want to, once I've sort of studied and it's got like instructions or whatever, I kind of want, and I like, if I can see it doing this and then putting it into like its compartment or whatever, I want to sit and I want to focus on it and I want to be able to see through it. I want
Okay.
to see what it's doing in there.
Yeah, okay. You can see through into its chest. There is smaller things that have been compartmentalized in tiny little shelves, and it seems like quite an intricate little interior to the creature, and it's using the crystal's power to sort of shape and power this thing. It's changing the properties or shaping the metal into like various sizes and shapes. And to you, basically, it's a fantasy like 3D printer, effectively. um, yeah, and it's got all these tiny little like needles inside as well, and shaping devices. There's like razor blades in there. There's like hammers and vices, presses, that kind of thing.
And
And
how much of the interior does this take up? Is it the entirety of the inside of it?
No, not the entirety. There's a little storage compartment where you can see one cannonball.
So it's taking apart the ship to make ammo.
In your simplest interpretation, yes.
But that's so dumb. Literally, Irina says this out loud. She's like studying this thing. She's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It makes no sense. By the time we're done, the whole place is gonna fall apart.
I just don't know what these are for. I kind of
Starts
hold my
pulling
hand
off the
up.
door. It starts pulling off the handles of this
Stop that!
gun.
You guys, he's pulling apart the ship to make ammo.
But ammo for
What
what?
good is having ammo if we don't have a ship to fire it from?
It turns this thing into a spoon, and it looks towards Irina.
Oh my god, someone find a way to turn this thing off.
Do you have a rest mode until we can bring you back when we've landed, so you don't tear apart the ship to make things?
It nods.
Okay. How would we go about doing that?
It starts walking away, back, or trying to get away anyway, and goes back into the downstairs into the hole.
Oh, into the crate.
Yeah, it starts heading back to its little crate.
Okay, I'll just follow it and...
It climbs up like these set of crates, almost as if they're little, like a pedestal on steps, and it places itself neatly within the crate.
Okay.
Right there.
Wow.
Its little head kind of pokes out the top of the crate, blinks a couple times.
I have a better idea. Guys, give me a hand with this. And I'll...
Are we throwing it overboard? Please say we're throwing it overboard.
Yes.
I was actually
Yes.
going to put it into the mansion.
Well, technically, wait, Ilum actually still up.
English, James. You got
Is
this.
that Llewellyn's weird place?
Yes, Llewellyn created a space within a space, a home within a home, I guess.
I just sort of
Magic's weird to me.
I just sort of look over to Irene and like, you're probably better at explaining magical things. What's he done?
It's a spell that's basically it creates a safe space.
Yes.
So, like, for instance, for me, it means I can sleep without worrying about blowing anything up, and you know, it's almost like having a home, but in like a magic door. So no matter where you go, you can access home.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Magic.
If you've ever read the book Howl's Moving Castle, open the door and there is home.
You know that's one of my favorite books.
There you go. That's exactly what it's like.
Okay, that makes sense. So does that mean? But I'm guessing the door only goes to one place. It's not like you turn the handle and it goes to like another place and then another place.
No, I believe it's just the one, but like Llewellyn can change things, and there's these weird spider things that are like butlers.
Okay.
Some of which are like super creepy.
Speaking of Llewellyn, where has he been during all of this time? I mean, like,
Well, I
Alan.
worked my way up to the top deck. Couldn't find anyone about, so I went up and spoke to Andy to see if she knew where they were, but she didn't. And then I came back down, and that's pretty much where we're about right now. Just-
Are you following it, Kishan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably message Carius at some point and be like, "Where is everybody?"
I just sort of explain where on the ship we are.
Okay, I'll come down.
No, we would have picked it up in the crate. No, you can come out. Nope.
What? So, Kishan, you just followed it out. It got out of the crate after a few seconds, and it started to look around the whole of the ship. It opened up several doors, and then just kept on looking around, up and down. And then as it closed that door, closed this door, and then it went back up to this level, seems to have found something that it's interested in. And as you open up the door, you start to see that it got its hand deep in Carius's stash of gold,
Nope.
and it is deconstructing coin by coin. Zzz, zzz, zzz.
Carius literally leaps over it and brings down a glaive on its head. Just,
No.
no! Bad robot! Yeah, Carius literally just flies across the room. It's like,
Oh god!
no!
Yeah, you hear this almighty. So you hit it on top of the head, and it kind of like malfunctions for just a moment, and then tries to continue.
Right.
Doesn't seem like it's learned its lesson.
I'd like to try and mage hand to pull the crystal from it.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, take
Okay.
the crystal out.
You're gonna try and take it out. It is socketed in quite deep. So you're gonna have to give me a strength check. The mage hand is too lodged for a mage hand to get it out.
Okay.
No, that was a saving throw. Whoops.
I mean, isn't
So
it?
you're gonna come over manually, Irina, and
No,
then
it
try it.
would have been the same anyway.
That's a 19.
Okay. All right. Natural one. Well, it seems far too distracted with the gold to stop you at this point. And as you're carefully removing it, it is continually shifting this gold and deconstructing it. And at this point, Irina, you see it is somewhat making something, but it hasn't got very far in the process. And as soon as you remove the crystal, it starts to and slow down until eventually it comes to a stop. And it's got one gold coin in one hand and something else in the other hand.
I'm literally handing the crystal to Kashan. Because obviously he's in charge of the other ones as well. I'm just like,
Okay. I just watched murder in front of me.
Murder, you could put it back once we know how to actually make it take orders from us. Or what to do, but for now, we can't have it pulling apart the ship. So,
And it's certainly not having my gold. I need that.
like, I don't care what it makes. I'd rather not die because he's taken something important.
What was in its other hand again?
Do you want to open it and
Yep.
have a little look?
Yep.
Alright, so you're gonna
it
like
made that
have to
super
wrench it
suspicious.
open and starting to have a look at what this thing has made. It is okay, so
It's made like a best friend's amulet or something.
well, it's funny. You can actually roll me a. You can roll me a 1, 2, 3. Roll me a d4.
D4.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. 4.
Oh,
Okay. So it has made a strange little cube, or at least maybe it's only a cube right now. It seems to perhaps be a thing that would have been fitted to something else. But there is a static, like a visual static over the object's surface. And you can sort of see lines and shapes from the static over it. It seems to be golden texture. It might have been like words, or maybe just lines and shapes. You can't quite tell. It's not really finished. So it was just a piece or something. But that doesn't look like just metal. There's some form of magic over it, weirdly enough.
I saw fucking Jamie's head pop up. Of course it did. Magic items? So he'll probably like just play around with it in his hand. Be like, this thing was creating something magical.
I sort of look at it.
I don't suppose you could identify it.
Not really my speciality. Really
Oh,
hoping to
please
actually
don't make
develop-
me ask Llewellyn.
Yeah, that's kind of his thing.
He's going
I
to
could-
keep it.
You hear your ears burning at this point, Llewellyn.
I'm just gonna call out and just be, Llewellyn, get your butt down here. We've got a magic item for you to look at.
He's already there.
okay.
He's literally like a hound when it comes to like the word magic item.
Yeah, I'm just picturing it almost like that scene in Cats Don't Dance where he just like just appears for a silhouette in the wall. Like, he's
Oh.
just, like,
How dare you say that I keep all the magic items after I have shared them all out? No items for you anymore, Kasham. But yes, I will identify it.
From a distance.
Okay.
Just because I'm curious.
All right, you can roll. Oh, you don't roll anything. It's just are you casting identify straight up?
I'll probably ritual cast it.
Oh,
we're in no
I'm
rush.
gonna make everyone wait 10 minutes.
Fine, I'll just cast it. No, wait. Wait. Actually,
Actually,
I have to ritual cast it because I don't have it set.
if he's ritual casting, can I use that time to count how much gold of mine got converted?
Yeah. Yeah, I
You
don't
got
have
about 12 coins in.
That's quite a lot for like the few seconds he was there. God.
Mm-hmm. So, as you identify it, it is an unfinished item of sorts, completely unfinished. It had like very little time to do anything, but it seems to have turned what was mundane gold and imbued it with some sort of infusion. And it doesn't look like the infusion is running out. There doesn't seem to be a time where it will just disappear. It seems to be indefinite. Though what infusion is, you're not 100% sure. It seems to be unfinished. It seems to be some sort of very minor kind of magical effect. But from what you can tell, the static can perhaps be used to shape into lettering or lines or shapes. It's impossible to identify what it would have been because it's just one piece or something. But it's like a cube that has lines and shapes over it.
I consider this for a moment, and then out of character, Chris, have you given us a robotic artificer? That's exactly how it sounds.
Maybe. I did
I'm
say you
so-
unlocked the artificer class the other.
I'm gonna look at it. And it's like,
Wow.
right, Carrot is gonna pick up his treasure chest, take out 57 gold pieces because that puts me to a nice round number. So
Okay.
Just like
leave them behind, and then he's gonna go take his chest and put it somewhere else and lock the door and be like, right, if you want to turn it on and see what it does with the rest of that gold, feel free.
just
I say
I'm
we
just,
never turn it on again.
I'm just identifying this thing. I'm just like, why am I not surprised that that drip drop put the machine on our ship?
It's already deconstructed a chest into metal and a lantern, and now it's trying to deconstruct my gold. But
Didn't it
it's-
also take a doorknob?
It did
Yes.
take a doorknob, yes.
And who knows what else it took while we didn't know it was here?
And
I
the
have a
lamp.
way of. Oh god. I can lock it away if you want.
Well, this is just the thing. We don't know what its purpose is, apart from to create whatever this is. And
I'm
the
getting there.
spoon. And the pellets.
I think probably between myself and Lavelle, if we sit down and look at this thing while it's not powered on, we might be able to figure it out. But I don't want it running around deconstructing the ship when we don't know what it's doing.
Yeah, maybe
Or-
we can reconstruct it. The irony to obey us.
This is not even about obeying us, it's about giving it some limitations, some
Yeah, I mean,
boundaries.
if you guys want to do that, I'm probably gonna go get some kip. We're just above where that island was, so if we get some rest, then we should be all ready for tomorrow, and then ready to kick some butt at what we assume is the crab's jewel.
Also, after I've identified this, I want to stand in the middle of the ship and use message to see if I can contact Drip Drop. If he's within 90 feet, I'll be able to get a message to him.
Yeah, but you have to be able to point in his direction, and going through layers of wood will actually disrupt the spell because it is limited by.
It can go through any amount of space, so long as there's space.
Well, you fire off this message regardless, and you don't get a reply.
Do I know if it connects, though?
You don't know if it connects or not, no.
Then he isn't on the ship, because I would at least feel it.
You don't know.
Alright.
No,
Yeah.
There's no response though.
Well, Taklo's up on deck, keeping an eye open for things. So, you know what, Lavelle, as we've got time, why don't you show me this weird space within a space of yours, and then we can all get some rest, and then you can look at this in the morning, or you know.
Okay.
That's Karis's suggestion. Or not. If not, I'll just go sleep back on the deck. I like the dampness.
No, I'm in agreement. I don't want to look at this thing until the morning. As long as it's not got the crystal, it shouldn't move around. But
You know where the Arius is booted? You see the little bedroom above it here?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we shove it in there? And I hand Carius the reverse lockpick to use on the door, because he's better with the whole.
I sort of look at it and then hand it to Kashan.
Yeah, sorry, not
This
Carius.
is This is Kashan's room.
I meant Kashan. This isn't Kashan's room, is it?
Yeah.
That's my room.
Oh,
We're
well,
gonna lock the robot in your room, I guess.
I'll lock it
Oh
in this
no,
room.
sorry, my room's the engine room, isn't it?
Or this
So
one.
swap.
Or this one here. Just a room that isn't being used that we can lock.
But it can deconstruct the lock.
But not without the crystal.
That's true.
Just
So yeah, let's lock it away in there.
All right,
So-
you tuck him in bed.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
And then Kashan can roll a sleight of hand to see how good he got with the
Reverse
Locking.
lock.
Go ahead.
With the lockpick.
reverse lock.
Reverse lockpick.
That one of the first
That's
magical
fine.
items I got.
And- Funnily enough, you do hear a scrambling sound. Very similar to the way that drip drop robot just scrambled something earlier.
Is
The
it just a
moment
dex
I had a-
check?
I think it's
It's
sleight
a
of
sleight
hand.
of
Oh,
hand.
sleight of hand, sorry.
Sleight of hand.
Thieves tools.
I do
If you
have
have
thieves
proficiency.
tools, but yeah, so that's a +4, 3 on top of that. What's our proficiency? Oh, +5,
Five.
so
Okay.
that's another 5.
Oh my god. Right, so if anyone wants to
That's-
unlock that now, it's going to take them a
27.
27 to unlock it.
Basically, you need to tan to unlock this door.
Yeah, and Carriage, just as a last thing, is just going to put the immovable rod in place on it.
Oh god.
Like, to be
Yeah.
fair, I could just dimension door in there if we were
Yes.
desperate, but
Well, we shouldn't put the immovable rod there because someone could actually just use the immovable rod and take it. But yeah, it's locked well enough. 27.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah. You need
Right.
at least a.
I just kind
17
of
on
say,
AC.
like, oh, if only I had that during my youth.
Yeah. Andy's gonna have to unlock this. Jeez.
Yeah.
Or I can.
what happened in your youth that you'd want that?
Does Irina not know? Oh.
She wasn't in the Feywild.
Oh, shit.
Neither was Carius. Carius is just like, all he knows is that you stole shit while we were on the island.
Oh.
I need to hear this story. If you need something like that, then
This is,
Yeah,
I guess, a
In what
story
job
time.
do you need a lockpick that locks doors?
Well, I wasn't always a monk, and I may have become a monk to, to you know, better myself. I used to be a thief,
Okay.
and quite a
But why
successful
would you
one.
need something that locks doors as a thief?
surely you do it the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, no,
That's
if it's like a good escape route. You unlock a door, and then you go through the door, and then you lock it back up again.
I guess.
Yeah, I suppose that kind of makes sense.
I mean, it worked for me once.
So what
Oh,
did
now
you steal? I just want to know if you've stolen anything interesting.
Uh,
Are you a famous thief? Are you one of these ones I might have read about? Have I read about any of his hijinks? A tabaxi thief?
He stole
that's
all cat's parts.
it's getting late. This is probably a story for another time.
I mean, Irina would probably consider a bedtime story, so.
And it was just generally small pickpocketing, nothing worth noting.
Do I believe that?
I was gonna say roll an insight.
Yeah. Roll a deception as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna inside that.
I'm inside that as well.
Yeah.
Hold on, you
Gee.
Llewellyn, you've seen.
I don't know what you stole. I don't know what you stole. I know you stole things.
Lies!
Oh man.
Don't you lie to me!
Fucking hell. Okay.
How high is your DC?
Deception.
Oh yeah, they see right through that.
Carius doesn't catch that. Oh, fair enough.
I'm literally just like, as I walk past heading to sort of like the mansion to go to sleep, I'm literally just like, you owe me a story.
Yeah, this is
And Karis is just like, you best not steal my gold. I've already lost enough today.
No. Why do you think I'm on this path? I'm changing. I'm a different person now.
It's okay. I've stolen things too before. It's fine.
Apparently, I've stolen things too. Oh, look
I
at
had
Irina.
I had something stolen.
They're not your robes.
Is this actually a pirate ship?
It's a reformed pirate ship.
Yes.
Karis is just like, Karis is just considering like his partner. Have I ever stolen anything? I've had something stolen from me once.
You've stolen hearts.
Yeah, that's probably true.
This is where pirates go for AA meetings.
Irina's literally just been like, I technically stole Candlewick from the library.
Yep.
I mean,
So
I suppose if you really wanted to consider things, technically the money that I've got was meant to be for protecting Castellius, and then he bugged off before that job could be completed. So you could consider that falsely earned earnings, which would be a form of theft, I suppose. But I don't know. If a prince of a kingdom lets you off, I thought that's pretty good.
the point is, we're not judging. We just want to know the story.
Yeah.
Eventually, in your own time, but you owe me a story.
Oh, probably.
If I'm honest,
best.
after hearing all this, it actually lifts my spirits quite a bit. I always thought being a thief would bring out the lowest, but we're all dirty thieves here.
Yeah.
And better people for it.
Plus,
Exactly.
in terms of doing weird and shifty things, and I point to the book, surely putting monsters in a book is probably a lower act than thieving.
Yeah,
I mean,
to be
that's
honest,
just weird.
Karis just considers at this point, wait, am I like the moral compass of this group somehow?
We're all lost.
No, we're not. I know exactly where we are. That's what the stars are for.
Again, it's a figment of speech.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
But
Anyway,
yes, you shall have your
Llewellyn,
story.
show us this magical restarting fact. Well, your battery's at 0%. You can't restart your factory settings.
It doesn't have a battery.
Yeah, we took the battery out.
And I would have known if there was a backup because I looked through it.
And what did the item? What was the item that it was making?
You couldn't identify. It wasn't complete.
Oh, I couldn't identify it. Okay, I didn't hear that.
If it blows up at this point, I'm going to be very annoyed.
At least it's locked in a safe room.
It's fine. If we all head to the mansion, we're all safe anyway. It's fine.
No, wait. No, but isn't it locked on the floor with all the gunpowder?
No, it's not. That's the floor below.
Okay. If that's what took our ship out, I'd be. Right. Llewellyn, mansion.
Counting randomly. Sure.
Llewellyn,
That's, I guess.
magical space time.
Why are we going to the magical space time?
Because I've got nothing better to do at this point other than sleep. So I thought, if there's places in there for people to sleep, it might be better than the deck.
Oh, okay. I thought you liked the deck, but yeah, I was.
I do like the deck, but I just thought I'm down here, so I might as well have a look.
All right.
I mean, if you don't want to, I'll just head up back.
I am gonna sleep on deck just so that there is someone on the ship. I mean, Andy's probably still asleep in the crow's nest, but
It'd be like a damn ghost ship if someone discovered your ship. Like,
yeah,
I
I'm
want
gonna
to-
stay on deck.
That close up there, just like this tiny. Can you imagine if you came across this ship and you just see like a tiny pseudo dragon wrapped around like the helm,
And that's it.
Just like, yes. How can I help you?
could you run this ship all by yourself?
Oh, someone comes in and they just find like the husk of a robot just holding this crumpled metal in its hand, and that's all they find.
Well,
Like
and
some
a
dead
load of dead cockatrices.
And
Yeah.
oh yeah, and dead cockatrice and a statue cockatrice.
Try and unravel
Yeah.
that mystery. All right. Well, with that, we'll
It's
say
the
that you
Mary
guys get to,
Celeste to the extreme.
yeah. With
So
that, you get the benefits of a long rest at this point, as you're all heading to bed.
I bring
But-
Carius to his room though,
Yes.
because he
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to see the room.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at carrots.
So there are many other rooms in this mansion, but I'll take you to yours, and we'll have a nice little tour at some point. But so it's got somewhat of a rocky, sandy floor, like the desert, because I figured you'd like that. The bed is literally made of magical clouds
I like
for you
it.
to sleep on, and there's like an altar fire, but there's room for adding a symbol because I don't know what a thunder god symbol is,
Well, mine's technically a sea god, but yeah.
or sea god, or whatever
Yeah.
you worship, because we haven't actually discussed that.
Nope.
So the view around.
Technically, the symbol's on Karis's armor.
Okay, I didn't know that, but yeah, that would be
Yeah.
there then. And then it's just like a sea view, all like 360 view, sea view that rises up into clouds above you, and like there's a switch you can flick, and when you flick it, it makes the clouds above look like they're all thunderous with lightning going across.
No.
So you can have that. And you also have another one if you want the sound of thunder and whatnot, and one that makes it rain in your room.
Nice. So essentially, my room is a desert island where I sleep on a cloud. But
Yes.
And there's a random altar to my god, which has a mermaid symbol on it, because that's what Ryla's symbol is.
Made of like some sort of sea stone, I would assume.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, just because I think it would be hilarious, I'm just imagining seeing some snurgs leap out of the water like dolphins.
Oh, God.
But if there's any changes you would like, I can change it. I did have to do it for Irina because I got her completely wrong.
Yeah, honestly, she's a tricky one to peg.
She asked you to take away the chandelier. That's not completely redoing it.
I gave her a fancy room. It turns out she just wanted standard study room.
Yeah, I mean, if you got any adventure books, that'd be kind of cool. I like a good story. And I'm assuming there's probably an armor stand and a place to put my glaives or something, because that makes sense.
Yeah, there would be. I didn't take you for the reading type.
Yeah, I'm not normally, but normally I hate sitting still most of the time, apart from sleeping. About the only time you'll ever see me not wandering about is either when I'm steering a ship or I'm reading a good book.
And I'll take him to the library, and it'll be the same situation where any books that are there is information that Llewellyn knows, including stories. Say, like, what Elravan might have told him, or he's read in Elravan's book. Any stories he's come across in terms of, like, stuff that's happened, like fighting a gold dragon. Not fighting a gold dragon, fighting a black dragon with the help of a gold dragon. There'll be tales and stuff like that.
You know,
And any that you tell me will appear on.
yeah, Karish just sort of like looks across and just grabs a random book. Right, I'm off to bed. Thank you for the room and the book, and I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
If I think of any changes, I'll let you know. But for now, it seems pretty good.
Hey.
Is there? And you said it was a sea view. Is there a way I can swim in the room?
Could probably make
No.
swimming pool.
But I could. There is actually a pool. There's a like an actual bathhouse.
Oh,
If you
well, that'll do. I do like a good swim, and we've been flying for a while.
You want to go in there?
I'm thinking for a moment, Mike. Is it fresh water or salt water?
Fresh.
fresh,
Carrot's just like.
but I can give that option if you want in the future.
I mean, a salt water would help. It's more close to the whole god thing, but fresh water will do for the time being.
Snug, we require a bag full of salt for the bathhouse.
Oh, okay. The bathhouse is currently being used at the moment, but you can join in if you want.
Used by who?
I'll show you. And he opens up the doors to the bathhouse, and all of the Snurgs are currently relaxing.
Oh,
Yep, they're all resting, and there's some that are in like little tuba rings and little armbands, and they're like splashing through the water. And some are just like laid back, resting. Some are chatting amongst themselves, and some are drinking wine. But all of the Snurgs are here, all bathing at the same time.
Is
like,
is Jackie
All in
about?
unison, they all say like, "Oh, good evening, Miss Gillabella."
Having fun?
Oh yes, this is our only time off.
Yeah.
A clean snug is a good snug.
That's true.
Yes.
Although I never actually saw the real Snug clean before.
Well, he
How
was
much more
always
bacon?
cleaning.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, he's clean.
True.
Did he ever? Was he one of the ones that joined? Did Snow join us in the bathhouse when we went to the bathhouse?
No, he didn't.
He's a little self-conscious. These ones aren't they? Seems like they're quite, what's the word? They like the communion of bathing together. Anyway.
Alright. Karis is just gonna go. I'll
You
leave
jumping
guys
in?
to it. No, I'm gonna go to bed. I'll have a wash in the morning. Freshen up
Okay.
before going to the Jewel Island.
Alright. So you head to bed. Now you get the benefits of a long rest.
Yeah. Jeez.
That was a little while, wasn't it? Oh, and you've got inspiration still. Anyway, alright, I'll do a long rest on those as well. Rest. It's a new day. There we go, rest it up. Recovers 24 hit points. Cool. Alright, so in the morning you've all come to, and I'm probably assuming that you kind of all meet up in the meeting room, or either on the deck of the ship by the wheel, or in the actual meeting room, which is down here.
What about in the war room inside the mansion?
I mean, yeah, you got 3 different locations you can meet up if you really want.
Yeah, I'm cool with whatever. It's just we have so many meeting rooms.
Wherever you'd like to go. But yeah, you've all just had breakfast, and you're all kind of getting ready to figure out what today's adventure will be like. But Harris, as you have managed to kind of stop the ship, and you're looking around, it's difficult to see over the top. Under the ship, because you're over the top of the actual island. But if you go out on your little glaive just a moment or two, you can see that down below is a glistening crystal island of these like large white crystals that are kind of like grown out in random directions. They kind of look like they're kind of natural looking crystals. They don't look like someone's actually made a crystal fortress or anything like that. They're kind of jutting out at odd angles. Some are big, some are really tiny, and some are so tiny that it's almost like a layer of just white, like almost like snow, which is very odd because it is actually incredibly hot this morning and everyone can feel the heat. And to some of you, it is very nostalgic heat. It's the same temperature that you would have woke up to every morning when you were younger. You feel like you finally sailed into warmer climates. and I'll let you discuss while I go.
Right. So
I mean, I
we
have
got
to go in
here.
like 15 minutes, but sure.
So we got here to this jewel island. What do we want to do? Want to go down and have a proper look,
I
or
assume that's why we in here.
Yeah.
Seems a bit strange if people, it's not always here, but it's here now. Might as well make the most of it, I guess.
yeah?
I mean,
But
Do we want-
it's another delay. Is the only thing.
do we want to deal with the robot first, or do we want to deal with this?
Honestly, we can deal with the robot on our last haul over, but it's just an island and there's nothing down there that looks dangerous. We can at least have a look. Maybe just plant a flag, say that the Kiasters have been here. I guess. Do we have a flag? Well, we
I mean,
can't-
I'm just curious in general. Again, it's a story that no one's really explored the reason for why it's there and then not there.
Who wants to be an eagle?
Sure.
Yeah. I tap Irene on the shoulder, and she becomes a giant eagle.
What, right now?
We're going. We said we're going down for a look, and then I asked who wants to be a giant eagle, and now she's a giant eagle for an hour. Oh, until stop. Technically, I didn't need to tap her on the shoulder, but it seemed right
It's
to do
fine.
so.
And I guess technically I can still talk with you?
And she can. Yeah, technically you can because you can speak all tongues.
I can carry someone, right?
You can carry two.
So me and Irina, the eagle, just kind of look at each other and just...
I'm just literally gonna fluff the feathers and then stand on like the edge of the ship and just be like, "Let's go."
Oh, carrying two people puts you at half speed, apparently, going off from previous things. And Carrius can carry one person on his glaive.
Yeah, but do we want to leave the ship unmanned? Is the thing.
No.
That's true.
I would say just send a couple down to be nosy. If it looks safe, land,
Yeah.
and go from there.
Oh, I'm unattuning from the ship and attuning to my cloak an hour later.
Okay.
And then you turn
Well-
into a giant eagle.
Yeah, we'll leave Andy to look after the ship then, I guess.
Well, Andy would be the one who would most likely want to go, so I'll probably fly Andy down on my glaive.
Sure.
Because you can feather fall around.
Oh yeah, because she saw the shiny jewel. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I'll leave Tackler up aboard in case there's something, then me and Irina can get back up to the ship pretty easily normally.
Squaw!
Squaw.
Okay, so you're heading down to Crystal Island.
Yeah. Irina,
All right. Let me
pick
just.
a shard up in your claw. Do it. Just and grab it.
I just kind of lift one, and I'm just like.
I just jump on the back.
Okay. All right. So this is kind of why it's a shame.
I like to imagine that instead of like a standard eagle, she literally just looks like she's covered in soot.
Yes, I am happy with that.
All right.
It'd be like a red eagle because it would look inflamed.
Fire!
Let me just copy these guys.
Like a
Copy.
phoenix or a ho-ho.
Yeah.
Cookie. Loading cookie.
Loading
Is that
cookie.
Your hiding names.
That's right. Okay, so guys,
It's beautiful.
This is the kind of scene as you see these huge crystals jutting out, and in the morning sun, it is reflecting off and giving off quite a lot of heat. And the sea is calm. It's a still water, but there are some waves hitting the rockier sides, and yeah, there's like quite a tall section of crystal that keep jutting up. It's almost like the whole island feels like a mountain, and the very top peak is probably the largest crystal. And as you come down towards it, are you landing anywhere in particular, or on the shore, or on the very peak? It's up to you guys where you want to go.
I'd say the shore.
The shore.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right, you're landing on the shore. Sure thing. Anyways, in that case, then,
Wow.
let me drag you
Landing
down.
on the shore, Carius would dump out his bottle of seawater and refill up with new seawater. Because that's just something he does.
Gotcha. So, landing at the shore, you feel your feet land into a kind of sandy surface, and it's not long before that sand turns to that kind of white like snow, as I mentioned before. It's almost as if the crystals are so small, they've kind of turned into a bit of a sand-like substance, you know what I mean? Like the sand is basically tiny rocks. And so as you're looking around, you can see it's almost like white sand everywhere you go. And you can feel a crunch as you're moving your feet around on the surface. The smell of this place is like open sea. It doesn't smell like you've just landed on an earthy tropical island. It still smells just like the salty sea.
I literally just like as this eagle, I literally just want to try and eat some of the sand. Just because I'm curious.
All right. You place this within your tongue, and it is immediately revolting. The taste is really strong, and it is very, very salty. Like, to the extreme. Like, it makes you kind of like curl your tongue and wince slightly.
How how thick are these crystals?
Dummy thick.
They all vary in size. Some are massive. Some are
Right.
tiny as fit in your palm.
Is there a way of figuring out what sort of crystals these are?
I think Irina just figured that
This-
out.
Salt crystals.
Oh, salt crystal?
I'm literally gonna go over and start scratching at like some of it.
Do I know if
Okay.
they're worth anything?
Immediately going to worth. Salt is obviously a good substance. Everyone needs salt for cooking and other. I mean, salt's used in a lot of things, but there's a huge amount of this. So much so that you wouldn't be able to like transport all of it. But
Oh, no.
you could fill up a few spice pouches if you wanted. But there is enough to like you literally could just pick it up like snow. There's so much of it.
Oh, I'm thinking of picking up big chunks and loading it onto the airship.
If you wanted to do that, you could.
Because I no longer have a diamond, so I need to somehow make a diamond's worth bag.
You thought this island would be covered in diamonds? Seems like
No, no.
Carrius. Seems to you, Carrius, that the legends are true. There is indeed a island full of shining, glimmering crystals, but not ones of worth. Ones of salt.
Well, I suppose in ancient times that'd be considered more valuable. It was to the point that that's supposedly where the word salary came from, because people got paid in salt.
Wow.
Just a
You
random-
history buff.
Irina's just enjoying being a bird, and if you've ever seen that video clip of like the ravens and magpies playing in the snow, that's literally what she's doing. So she's like rolling around and digging. And just like,
Wow.
Actually, she would have the brain of a bird as well, technically, because that's what
she's literally just enjoying the moment.
And
Oh, I missed
also,
that
I'd
part.
be able to hear what she was saying.
See, I came back and I missed the part where you turned into a bird. So
Oh yeah,
I'm a giant eagle.
gotcha. That makes
Yeah.
sense now.
I sort of looked to Lavelle and looked at these salt crisps. I'm like, we could take one of these bags as an example to those spider people, so they could put something maybe in like the pools, and then it'd be like a natural salt effect rather than just dumping a bag in.
we could take some pouches. How much do you think we'd be able to take, as in large portion? Because I was thinking we could just, cut the tip off one of these.
Just a tip.
Just the tip.
Honestly, it's salt. It could probably dissolve off by hitting it in the right place. Dissolve off like an entire one of these crystals. We just have to get it back up.
Yeah, how would we cart it up to? Unless we
Sorry,
just brought
but
the airship
should we
down.
probably find out exactly what this place is before we start destroying it? Because we don't
Well,
know. There
it's-
might be like a civilization within the center of these, and they probably wouldn't like us chopping down their home. So maybe we should look into this place first.
Yeah, let's do a fly around.
Well, as
Irina.
you say, there might be a civilization here. Irina, 1 second.
Should do a flyby.
Um,
By fly.
nope. 7 does not hit you, does it, Irina?
I think eagles have like a 12 AC.
Yeah, that's not going to hit. Okay, so as you're rolling around in this salt, you suddenly see a little bit of movement. A little something is shifting out of the sand, and a pincer comes out and tries to pinch you on the beak.
I would like to catch its claw in my beak and then fling it as far as I can, preferably into the sea.
Oh, crab! Alright, yeah. Just. I guess that's gonna happen. His tiny little strength is -4. So you just lob this crab, fling it, and it spins for a good, few seconds, and then finally lands, squish, into the ocean. And
What was that?
as you do that, a couple of more crabs start to come out and start to surround you.
So the crab's
1,
jaws.
3, 4. There's a lot of them. Back, Irina, I'm just gonna drag you down here.
I was gonna say, I literally will just fly up into the air if that's the case.
Do they just
And
look
then
like,
slam into the ground.
do they just look like ordinary crabs, or do they look like maybe they're covered in some of these salt crystals or something?
They absolutely are covered in salt crystals, and that one that was just tossed into the ocean, you look over and you start to see more crabs coming from where that splash just emanated. More little crabs are coming up the beach, and they are covered in little salt crystals. Yeah.
So the
And
crab's
Irina-
jewel is salt crystals and covered in salty crabs.
And now,
So-
Irina, you're surrounded. Are you did you say you were taking flight?
Yeah, I'm just on her back, just like, what the hell is going on right now? And
Couple of attacks
Kashan
of opportunity.
is technically still in her talon, unless she dropped him.
So, Irina, as you take flight up into the air, you see there are 2 crabs hanging on by your tail feathers. And as you come up into the air, you see that there are other seabirds kind of nesting and swooping around.
I mean, they can have the crabs if they want the crabs. I don't want them.
In that case, then you veer near enough to these seabirds, and 2 of them do swoop in and snatch the crabs right off of your tail feathers. Poor crabs.
Mine?
Yeah. Someone needs to tell me if we're hanging around or if I'm flying back up.
Yeah, this place seems really peaceful. Maybe we should leave it to its.
Yeah, let's just leave it. It just seems to be a naturally beautiful place. I mean, Andy, perhaps, I don't know, your natural.
Andy would probably just collect some of it for like a spice pouch, just because she loves spices. But
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think that's probably about it.
Do we want
Yeah.
to take? Do we want to take a large chunk of this?
The
Take-
largest chunk you see, Lavelinar, is like this massive crystal. It's way more like translucent than the rest of it.
Because I kind of set disintegrate in case it was a rare crystal, so I could just cut through this like it's nothing.
Yeah, but I feel like there are other ways for you to earn money rather than.
thinking- Yeah.
I expect this to be a different crystal, not diamonds, but different.
Yeah, Carius looks at the crabs and then thinks of the food supplies on the ships, and then thinks about his dad, and it's just like, should we take some of the crabs with us? My dad would probably like them as a gift, at least.
Pet crabs.
Well, I was more thinking food. Yeah, crab
Sure.
meat's tasty. So Carius, just to this big one next to him, he's just gonna like stab it with his blade,
Oh god! It does scuttle away from you.
and I'm like, as it scuttles away, I lightning lure it back.
God, roll to hit.
Technically, it's just a strength saving throw from it, isn't it, for lightning lure? Or well,
Oh.
actually, I go to hit it with my glaive first, and then
Yeah.
it tries to move away. So
Let's see what you
let
get.
me try to hit it with my glaive. Wavebenders, Leomano, go!
Always good.
Oh god, yeah, that's a hit. And you crack it, it's still alive, literally on 1 HP. You brutalized it but didn't kill it. Just like crippled on the floor, like twitching.
And then attack of opportunity.
Yeah, and then it tries to run away, and I just go, nope. And because I can, because I have the Warcaster feat,
18 on its save.
that technically makes the save.
It
so-
runs!
Well,
Sounds like-
actually, I wasn't in the end. I went to go for that, but then changed my mind because I can do any of my cantrips on an attack opportunity. So I'm going to shocking grasp it, and I now.
Oh god!
Oh no, not 20 on a crab.
Well, dead crap.
That's 28 lightning damage, and because that's technically. Oh no, you don't get bonus action on turn, so that's fine. Yes, I'm just like, well, I've got one. I may have cooked it slightly, so breakfast.
A load of other crabs begin to scuttle the heck away from you. And they're all going in the same direction, actually.
Are they going towards the sea or are they going near the inner island?
They're going towards the sea, but there is a very large crystal at the very tip of the... It's kind of like overhanging the shoreline, and the waves are kind of crashing up against it.
Carriers will follow them to see if they're going to somewhere interesting.
I was going to say,
Or if
Sean
they're just
and
going back to the sea.
Sean and Andy are probably laughing and following them, kind of mimicking the sideway movement.
That's a way.
Yeah, to be honest, if at any point these look like they're going to get away, I'm just going to control winds and just lift them all into the air.
Okay.
See, I love how we said, oh yeah, this place is peaceful, we should probably leave. Now, let's commit genocide first.
No, I just wanted to take a little bit of crab meat with me, but now I'm just curious where they're all going because they seem to be going towards a particular salt crystal, so I'm curious if there's something more there.
Yes, a giant crab, probably.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Move your tokens.
No. Let's leave while we can.
No, Carius is curious enough, and I think
I am I've got Lavelle and I'm just kind of like.
Carius looks and just sees this giant crab and like, now that's what I call dinner.
He's just... Sean just looks up like, oh, holy crap.
I forgot Irina can see it from there as well. And Llewellyn, amazing. Okay, so these crabs begin to rush towards this this creature, it suddenly begins to turn around, and it looks down at you guys. Oh god, where's Irene?
Because I couldn't see anything, so I had to put my token down.
Okay. All right. and
yeah, I'll just kind of
God.
call out to it and just say, "Hi."
You got tongues.
raises its powerful claws, and as it does, you can see that it is somewhat trying to defend the rest of the crabs. So they're all kind of like scuttling towards it. It moves forward down its huge pedestal.
No, we're going. We're going.
Garrus is just like, I mean, I would guess it's 1v1 me, crab.
Leave
Are you showing? Are you showing like clear signs of aggression? On
No,
your...
I'm just sort of standing there waiting to see what it does.
Okay.
Leave the
Um,
ecosystem.
It has raised its claws. It does look like it's about to go in for the kill, but then hearing you, Kishan, what did you say? You said like, "Hello, Mr. Crab."
Yeah, I just go, "Hi."
There is something strange about this crab as you're looking at it, and it seems to be responding to you. The underside of the crab, as it kind of rears up towards Carius, there's somewhat like a starlight shaded area under the crab. It's like these sparkles of stardust within its
Oh wow.
kind of undershell, and they sparkle with this wondrous luster, just the same as Andy's cape. It kind of twinkle there for a moment as the rest of the
Astral
crabs
crab?
are getting to safety.
Am I gonna somehow get blasted to the astral sea from this? That'd be
I would be a bit mad, but it depends what you want to do to it.
I just sort of does it actually respond in a way that Kashan can understand with his tongue of the sun and moon?
It seems to just rear its claws up. It's unsure as to whether you are a threat or not. But the rest of the crabs are hiding behind it now.
I will form the symbol of Ryla out of some water in front of it to see if it responds. Because it's a sea creature, so it might work.
It
do something.
does respond, yes. But not in a way you might understand. Seems to like snap its pincers together, and it starts to draw in the actual salt itself.
Carius just sort of looks over, trying to see what it's drawing.
It's an intelligent creature.
It is intelligent, and it seems to understand you perfectly. And it says the name of your god
Guys,
in common.
I look. It actually says this in common to us.
Yeah, on the ground it is like drawn out your name of your goddess.
Oh,
I say, yes, that's right. I'm a worshipper of Ryla. Are you one too?
It shakes itself.
give me 10 minutes, and I'm gonna start preparing rares.
Would you be okay with us establishing a telepathic bond with you, Mr. Crab?
You start to hear a voice that says, there'll be no need for that. As you start to see the crab pull in its claws, its legs unwind, and you start to see the shell sort of crack and dissipate. And you see all these stars sort of begin to sort of disperse into the air and vanish, revealing a very strange form. It seems to be humanoid in shape, but at the same time, it's kind of airy and almost non-solid. Oops. There we go.
God, it's like it looks like a god.
Oh, I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, it almost looks like, well, almost. So I can't get rid of the crack.
Carius is just doing that in his head. He's just like, Transformers, crabs in disguise. It's just literally the first thing that came to my mind.
Good God. So he's a full humanoid male, but he seems to have, as I say, kind of this almost translucent, airy quality to him. In fact, he looks more like a ghost than he does like a normal human. And he seems to be just slightly floating off the ground, and then finally comes to a rest as he transforms out of this huge form. He seems to be wearing like a toga, and he has a wreath of golden leaves on his head.
I just
Uh,
sort of pause.
Very Greek inspired. Except he also has a ton of scrolls, and it looks to be like a navigation set by his waist, with like a compass, a set of what are they called? Like navigation stencils.
Who are you?
Stuff. Yeah, I'm Carius. Who are you? This is Irina, Lavellen, Kashan, and Andy.
He
Hi.
says, "Greetings. I am a far traveler. I come from, well, I don't really have a home. It is why I'm here. It is a good place to gaze at the stars. My name is Stratos."
Wait,
Have we heard of the name Stratos?
wait.
Like-
You're nothing to do with the islands chain, right? Called the Stratus Archipelago thing.
Yeah, the Stratos Archipelago.
It is perhaps a coincidence, but I chose the name. It is a fitting one, seeing as I am almost metaphorically between the air and stars.
Did you
And you
have
start to see there is a bit of a twinkle in amongst his air-like qualities. You have
Does that make you like astral elemental?
almost. It is a somewhat of a hybrid. I am an air genasi, as you might know them.
So you're an air. Wait. Then I'm literally, because I can, if he's that, I'm going to say in Auran, so is this tongue more preferential to you, or would you prefer to talk in common so everyone can understand you?
He's speaking in primordial. Everyone hears this kind of breezy, wispy sound coming from Karis's mouth. It's like,
Which Andy understands, I believe.
yeah. And he says, I prefer to speak the common tongue. I have spoke to many, many peoples across the lands. I came here to receive an omen, or perhaps a sign from the stars before I embark on my journey.
your journey to?
A far-off realm. Not here. It is likely never heard of from your kind. You cannot reach it by looking it up on a map.
I know of other realms. Would you like to elaborate?
I know not of the realm's name, but I know of my destination. A landmass known as Njorkland.
New
There
York.
I hope yes, Njorkland. there I hope to discover perhaps what I've been seeing in the stars. I cannot decipher whether it is an omen or whether it is a sign of good fortune.
Uh,
And what have you been seeing in the stars?
There's been a great dark space growing, a shadow consuming the stars. But it then disappeared suddenly, as if something had banished it. And now new constellations appear at night, ones I have not yet recorded. And he seems to pull out this large map that is actually a star map. And he starts to take note of it when he suddenly recognizes or takes note of Andy at this point and says, "Oh my goodness, you are a stargazer as well?" But I think we'll have to probably wrap up soon here because I know
Yeah.
Andy will probably
Yeah,
want to
wanna-
talk to you. But he says, "But enough about my ventures. Why are you here? What brings you to the Crab's Gem?"
We kind of just saw it in the distance, and it was kind of on the way to where we're going, so thought we'd check it out. As not a lot of people have been here.
You know, curiosity and all that. We thought we might come across diamonds, but well, I did.
I just sort of looked to Kashan. I'm like, unfortunately, it didn't kill the cat yet.
And
Well,
I'm sorry one of my friends killed one of your crabs.
yes, the crabs here are peaceful. They seem to be collecting for some reason. It's a mystery, but they keep piling up the salt. I think it's them that are responsible for the towering crystal of salt. They do indeed see that they are kind of coming up from the shore, again, sort of covered in these salty crystals,
So
and then
the
depositing them on the island.
So the crab's gem was made by crabs?
Probably.
Well, at least like the jewel bit of it.
Hmm.
So you say you were looking up to the stars for something irregular. The last person who was doing that I met was looking for something called the Veiled World and waiting on an eclipse.
Hmm.
Any idea on what that might be? Maybe it's connected?
I believe everything is connected. Constellations are not just singular things. All the stars are bonded in some way, but it is impossible to decipher every meaning behind them. I can only concentrate on one thing at a time. And for now, I feel a calling to this distant land. If there is something happening with the next eclipse, I will make sure to be back in time for it.
That is, yes, well, now that I know that these crabs are doing something interesting, I'll apologize. I'm probably just still going to take the one that I killed, mostly because, you know, crabs equals food normally. And I kind of need a present for my dad, because I need something to try to not make him kill me the moment I step through the door. I might send Irina in first.
says-
I'm not sure who would be more annoyed to see.
He looks at you with this kind of solemn look and says, "Nay, at least you have a father to go home to. You should cherish your family. I have never known mine."
I try to, but me and my dad tend to have differing views on the right. Well, he has very strict views on the right way of doing things, and I don't 100% agree. My brother, on the other hand, bloody goody two shoes.
And we'll get to see all of your family hopefully next session, because that's all coming up very soon. But for now, I think we should sort of wrap up here. 20 past 10. So, after meeting this strange individual, he has got more questions for you, but we'll play that out next session. Till then, though, we'll sign off here. And thank you very much for watching. And thank you to our players for playing. We'll be back next week. We'll also tune in on Sunday.
Are we back next week? Because
Is it Christmas? Well, I can run.
Yeah.
But probably not everyone else. They're going to be busy. So I guess have a very nice Christmas, everyone. And
Yep.
Try not to eat too many pigs and blankets. Or...
There's no such thing. Too
Yeah,
much
you're right.
that's fine, but too many pigs and blankets, no.
Very
And
true.
join us Sunday for the Witch Hunters with Baba Yaga's Dancing Hut. Monday for Curse Breakers with the Curse of Strahd, where the party are going to Argyn Vostolt. And shortly after that, the Last Resort Company were continuing on their journeys in the adventure known as Tomb of Annihilation. And hopefully
Mm.
don't annihilate it yet. So, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.